Alright, you guys, it's the one and only Moshiach Ben Joseph here again. I just woke up in the middle of the night. It's like, what time is it here? It's almost like 4 in the morning. It's almost like 4 in the morning here. And as soon as I woke up, Papa always asked me to make a video about what he told me yesterday about Genesis 49 and what it really means. And he just asked me to make this video. So I don't have a Bible. I had to copy it off the internet, but I wrote down what he told me to do, and then some little notes here about what it means. So I'll try to remember it all, but yeah, basically it's about Genesis 49. Genesis 49, 8 through 12. All right. Okay, so here we go. We'll read it first. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down and couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Binding his fowl unto the vine, and his ass's colt unto the choice vine, he washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. All right, so 8 and 9, right off the bat, explain how Judah, his ways and everything, would rule as a predator. All right, and remember, Judaism comes from Judah. All right, so basically saying that in Israel, that Judah in his ways would reign as a predator. All right. And then it goes on to number 10. It says it will rule until Shiloh the Messiah comes. That means that Judah's ways are not good enough and will be rejected by God, because those ways will go until, meaning up to the point, until the Messiah comes, and then no more. So Judah's ways are not good enough, which means they'll be rejected by God. And that also means that Jews, the people of Judaism and Judah, are not God's chosen people. And then it goes on to 11 with the binding his fowl and colts to vines and stuff like that, and washing garments in wine means he will squander resources. And then his eyes shall be red with wine, meaning he's an alcoholic, and his teeth white with milk, meaning he's like a child, like an infant, which is basically irresponsible and foolish. All right, and that also goes on, basically saying that this is a person that will rule as a predator, not good enough for God, because he squanders resources, and he's an alcoholic and infantile predator. All right, and that's the basis of Judaism. Okay, and then he told me to remind you of Genesis 3, the first lesson, where the devil and Eve and stuff like the devil and his fallen people will twist God's words. All right? And that basically means to basically say that all of this, well, I'll explain that in a second. And then Genesis 49:26 goes on to say that the blessings of Jacob will be passed on to Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was different or separate from his brethren. And set different means good, because they're basically evil people. They're not good people. All right? Which is the times we're in right now, where the people are not good, and there's someone who's different, and that's this Moshiach Ben Joseph. All right? So basically, he will get the crown or be as king, because he's different from everyone else, which means he's good and everyone else is bad. All right? Or evil, which means morally wrong. All right? So remember, and when you look at the the vast majority of the Bible after Genesis goes on to keep talking about how Judah's line will reign forever with a Moshiach ben David, and that comes down to fucking evil twisting God's words, right? Which is basically saying that early on it was said that the crown would be on Moshiach ben Joseph, all right, and the crown would be from Joseph's line, would go to Joseph's line. But then it keeps going on all throughout the Bible to basically say that these evil alcoholic, infantile, irresponsible predators would freaking go on with and reign forever and ever and ever. So they're fallen, just like Genesis 3, where it talks about eating from the knowledge of the tree of good and evil. And good and evil, basically good and evil, means basically getting pleasure and happiness through evil ways. And that's Judah's line. He's fallen as well. He's an alcoholic predator. He's foolish and irresponsible and squanders resources. He gets his pleasure from evil ways. All right? And that's basically goes back to the Genesis 49:3. We're saying such people will twist God's words. Right? So just like Eve, Judah and his people would keep twisting God's words and rewriting everything to portray themselves as the ones who will rule forever and ever and ever. All right? And that's basically what he wanted me to say, is that when Moshiach ben Joseph comes, he will get the crown because he will be different from everyone else. He will be a good person, and he will be crowned king, Moshiach ben Joseph. And once he's there, he's the Messiah. He's Shiloh the Messiah, which means that Judaism, his purpose, is to bring about an end to these evil ways, which is until Shiloh the Messiah comes. Judaism would reign as a predator until Shiloh the Messiah comes, because Judah's ways are not good enough. Judaism is not good enough, and Judaism will be rejected by the Messiah and God. All right, because the Judaism people, are not God's chosen people, and that's why they get rejected when the real Moshiach comes. And that's why they wrote how the real Moshiach ben Joseph, he's going to be killed, and then Moshiach ben David, Judah's people, will come and save the day, and will reign as forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And it's like, no. See, that just tells you that basically the whole Bible, when you look at it and you understand what's going on, it's basically a story about evil rewriting God's words, taking the old stories and adding to them, and then rewriting things to portray themselves as the ones who will rule forever and ever and ever. Yeah? But that's basically what Yahweh asked me to create in a video early this morning here. And, yeah. So, there you go.